Hi, my name is Nunziata, and I'm a New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film. And I'm also a proud FENIX Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am thrilled to be speaking with an amazing multi-instrumentalist, Boston-born, Brooklyn-based guy whose talent is, well, limitless. Jon Jaffee. Before I speak with him, take a sneak peek at Jonathan's amazing talent.
She is gone, there is no tomorrow. It is done, so now he must borrow the life of his brothers, and living in sorrow must do for the others.
Hello, Jonathan, how are you?
Hey, well, doing well.
Oh, it's so great to meet you, and I'm so excited that the audience got to hear your rendition of the Stephen Stills hit, Do for the Others, of course, part of your bluegrass folk band that you co-founded called Steamboats.
Yeah, I love that tune. It's also, that video really captures the vibe of the band because we're recording at a house in Maine that one of our bandmates' family is at, and it's beautiful tune, great vocal harmonies, which the band is all about.
Well, listen, Jonathan, I love your vibe because not only were you a co-founder of Steamboats, which is a folk bluegrass vocal trio, you're actually one of the co-founders of Butterchild, a band that has had a few incarnations throughout the years, but that is that five-piece funk soul sound. And I was very fortunate to be in the audience of a few of those concerts, obviously way pre-pandemic. I want to know for you though, when did you know when you were growing up in Newton, Massachusetts, that you had this gift of artistry?
Wow, I'm feeling very complimented. Well, music is a big part of my family. And my dad's a musician, and his family members, his aunts and uncles play music. So really came up playing music all my life. I don't have much formal training. I took like guitar lessons and some basic music theory, and I was in choirs with actually members of both bands and choirs. Cool. And that's really a lot of where I kind of found my joy of singing was vocal harmonies. But yeah, my dad actually plays in Butterchild from time to time as a sax player. He likes to sit in. I'm actually working on one of his recordings now.
I love that, and I love Jonathan too, and speaking with a lot of artists, and excuse the noise of New York City outside of, I'm in Midtown Manhattan, I know you're in Brooklyn, but New York is New York, and we love that when she gets loud, she's unapologetic. But speaking of unapologetic, look at this segue. You, my friend, have an unapologetic quality about all of the music that you put out there, and I think it's so beautiful to hear, not that I think I know. Speaking with other artists, the ones that have found the most success are the ones that were encouraged as a kid. But I love that part of your reality was the fact that your parents are artists. And I want to know for you, in terms of a specific, because you play so many different genres, is there one that you found is definitely the foundation of who you are as a musician?
That's interesting. Yeah, there's music that was given to me earliest in my life, music from my parents. Just to clarify, my dad's a musician, my mother's a fantastic librarian, medievalist, scholar. My dad's also a psychotherapist, but anyway.
I love that.
What if we want to like distill and, bypass some of the BS, what it really is I look for soul in music, right? There's like soul music as in, rhythm and blues, soul music, but really you can find soul in so many different music.
That's right.
Especially like folk and bluegrass music, and a lot of that soul is really exposed the most when it's beautiful vocal harmonies. So that's kind of what has drawn me to music. So wherever I can find soul, at the same time I love Curtis Mayfield and Otis Redding.
It doesn't, but Jonathan, you bring up a really good point, and actually kind of the art that I'm interested in. The artists that have investigated the superfluous to get to the elegant, the crux of the matter, the non-BS, the guts, the unapologetic, raw, veins, blood, guts of it all, but that it can be done through, the packaging of a folk bluegrass that's digestible for people. But then once you seep through, kind of peeling the onion back, what it's really about, the emotional wallop. And it makes me think, an artist like you, so talented, not only a singer-songwriter, a multi-instrumentalist, someone who has never put themselves in a box. I love that FENIX celebrates, it's literally called FENIX 360 for a reason, right? I mean, celebrates the full art at FENIX Rising, and I love what you just did there. And I can read, good soul interpretation. You were giving me Martha Graham of the Hands there.
Exactly, Martha Graham.
But I could talk to you forever about all these things, but I'm most excited about someone like you joining FENIX, because not only will your art get out there to not only the fan base that you already have, but to people all over the world, where your music, whether people understand English or not, great music, as you know, and we know, great music is universal. It's transcendent. And the idea of you getting your art out there to a new audience, what would that be like for you?
Oh man, fantastic. There's so many barriers, right? There's so many obstacles to try to wade through and navigate. I mean, having a clear shot to an audience that also, gives you a means to make more music. It gives you a little kickback, whatever, and a clear avenue for your fans to monetarily appreciate you. That's the dream, right? I was talking to a friend of mine who was protesting outside the Spotify office last week, a bunch of musicians, because they were just protesting to have one full set.
And isn't that crazy that they have to, in this groundbreaking, revolutionary way of thinking that FENIX has, it's too bad that it's groundbreaking and revolutionary, but these FENIX CEOs that I've befriended, this is their bliss. And the artist has always gotten the short end of the stick. And now what? They don't. It's kind of a new thing that it's like, we've dealt this trauma our whole life of getting little to no money. Wait, more for the artist? I'm with you, man. Yeah,
it's very encouraging to think about that, especially, of course, this year has been devastating to musicians. And, I think it makes people realize how much they get from live music and how much they get from the experience of having art and music around them all the time. When we're isolated and it's not thrown in our face, we feel its absence.
And isn't it funny that arts is the first thing usually to go in the educational system?
I don't think it's funny at all. I think it's upsetting deeply.
I mean, well, I know, and God bless you, it's not funny, it's upsetting. And the fact that it took a pandemic for people to be surrounded by their streaming sites to realize, oh wait, what would we do to survive without the arts? And yet we're still on the bottom of the list in terms of appreciation. What? God bless, other people can make a living on what they do, and artists, they need to struggle.
Yeah, it's also it's an unrealistic stereotype, and it doesn't make for a good lifestyle, which ultimately is it's not helpful. But there's so many different ways to make music nowadays. One thing that hasn't evolved with that is ways of paying musicians and getting the music out there. I mean, there's all these platforms, but it's higgledy-piggledy, helter-skelter.
And look at Jonathan, you explained it so beautifully when you said there hasn't ever been a clear path for the artist to make a good living, or even just a chance at it. That there's always been dis-ease. Well, FENIX, it provides the ease for no other reason. Yeah, it might sound too good to be true, but for no other reason than it's the right thing to do. And listen, I could talk to you forever about this. Unfortunately, we don't have much time, but I will say, people, please go read more about Jonathan and what he's up to in the link below and in his bio below. And I'm so excited that you've come on, Jonathan, to this amazing new app. And I can't wait to see what you do next, my friend.
Oh, thank you so much. It's very exciting.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
In the digital age, artists and bands struggle to make a living. In fact, only a small number of artists can live off their craft. For the 98% of artists that don't have the luxury of being signed to a label, it's tough. But artists deserve to live off their art. Wherever you are around the world, appreciation of music does not change. FENIX brings bands and their fans together, whilst allowing bands to properly monetize their passion. The FENIX app will directly connect bands and fans with no need for middlemen. We're utilizing the blockchain to give the power back to the artist once and for all. Join FENIX, join the change.